hii ya leo hata si I think itakuwa 2-3 minutes. Let me just go straight into it. Sasa juzi I'm talking to a pal of mine. Unajijua Mrs. Pal. Nitamwita remote. So juzi naongea na a pal of mine called remote. So ananiambia story ya venye wametoka someday hapa the other day walikuwa event, or I'll use the word event, though sijui kama event is the right word for it, but anyway walikuwa tu wameishia mahali as a family and among other people. So wakitoka hiyo event si wametoka as a family. They went as a family, coming back as a family. Father, mother, remote, brother, other relatives, whatever. So all of whom, by the way, just for the sake of this story, I need to mention how watu wote wako above legal age. All of them over 18, way over 18, maybe 2, 3, 4 years over 18. So at least I mean. So wanaishia home. So on their way home, the dad decides tufanye hivi, tuingie tu mahali hapa nikibuy restaurant inaitwa, aliniambia jina, nimesahau jina ni gani, but so wameingia kwa hiyo restaurant. Wakula nyama, it's a bar restaurant, whatever, ni kula nyama hizo vitu zote. So you know how, have you ever felt this thing where like you guys are coming back home from somewhere as a family and then you're hoping and wishing that your parents just washikwe tu na Holy Spirit tu, yani washikwe tu waamue venye sasa tupitie mahali tuingie tukule. Manzi mimi na feeling poa, it's so terrible mkitoka mahali as a family alafu ati mnaishia tu home na watu wako na njaa na haiko place yenye mmekula. That's a thing, by the way, si place yenye mmekula. So basi wana decide, wait, I'm not just over there like si useme tu yenu ndio kubaya kitu, please sema tu you're feeling like a sponsor today, please useme tu hivyo. So wazazi wake, they did the business, wakaamua tuingie mahali tukule nyama choma hivi teremshana. This is where the story is at. So I don't know how it happens in your houses. Please feel free to tell me how it happens in your houses. Like kwa nyumba zenu mkiwana, for those people who are in their early 20s, mid 20s, hapo katikati, early, mid, ama just 19 years old, anything above 18, between 18 I guess and 23, 24. When you go places with your parents, do you usually, is it okay for you people to get alcoholic drinks? Like mimi nikienda na mama yangu, can I get an alcoholic drink to drink, or will she look at me like, unadu, what do you think you are doing? Unafikiri unafanya nini Michelle? Unafanya nini? So I don't know what it's like for you guys. Is it normal? Is it okay? How does it go? Because this rant is completely based on the answer to that question. If your answer is, depending on what your answer is, this video may or may not be relevant to you. So, but I think in some case or in some way it will be. We'll just try and see how that will fit into this whole story baadaye. So so wananiambia wenyewe, so remote is telling me how si wamefika hii joint. So wakifika hapo, unajua venye saa waiter si anahamingi, na first of all tuseme tu venye kwa family gatherings kuna huwa na hii habit kwa hii country yetu yenye mimi sijui kama ni Kenya tu ama ni pia other African countries, ama it's just my family and related families, mimi sijui, yenye wazazi wanakaanga kona moja, so wao wako hapo na pombe, sigara, okay, actually yeah, pretty much. So wanakaa hapo na mihadarati yao. Alafu sasa you young people wenye you apparently ninyi watoto wa wenyewe, you may not necessarily be watoto juu mmefika 20, 25, 26 hapo tu, yani ma ages za kusema tu kweli, you are pretty much adults, okay? So kuna wanayo separation ya wazazi na the other younger generation. So wazazi wako hapo na malika na mapombe na maini. So see, of course mmefika mahali mko na relatives au sijui nini, mmekuwa separated into that obvious categorization. Typical cousins and young ones sit on one side and uncles and aunties and whatever sit on the other side. So kuna hiyo separation. So waiter anakam kuchukua order, but before waiter akam kuchukua order, say mmoja, one of the, I think ni beshtea remote dad anakama nawaambia, sasa sijui kama nyinyi ni watoto ama ni watu wazima, but sasa juu mko hapa na sisi ambao sisi ni wazazi wenu, hamwezi kukunywa vinywaji za watu za wa man. Swahili ni ngumu. You cannot have adult drinks Yeah, so kama mko hapa, by the way, since mko hapa na wazazi wenu, mko hapa na adults, out of sijui ni respect ama out of sijui what, watu ni kunywa soft drinks, majuice, mamaji. So in summary, mnaambiwa mteremshe nyama choma na maji ama na soda, na mko in your 20s. Na let's, you know, let me just see ati there's a problem kuteremsha nyama choma na soda. Si tulifanya hivyo before sisi wenyewe whatever, si tulifanya hiyo story, right? But sahi when you are of age na mnaenda mahali na mnaambiwa sasa mko na wazazi wenu, hamwezi, you are not allowed to order alcoholic beverages. Me, I don't know. Let me just backtrack this story kidogo. So kina remote na cousins wake na siblings wakiambiwa, oh, venye saa tunaenda kula nyama sijui nini, it's a buy and everything. What is their first thought? Remote ashafikiria hapo venye sasa mimi na savana yangu. And me, I don't know, but savana ni bia kweli. Savana ni kama juice, ni kama tu apple juice imekwa kagas na kidogo % alcohol. Ama ni mimi tu. Anyway, so remote kwa hapo ameamua venye yeye na savana neo ya machoma wanaenda kupelekana tu shock on her. So remote ameamua hivyo, brother yake amesema pia mimi sijui nakunywa nini, sijui au wengine wameamua sijui aje, shock on them. Wakishaambiwa no, you are the children and in front of your parents you cannot do such a thing. Say no, it's not allowed. Sasa mi ni swali moja, hiyo ni nini? What are those? So basically kenye tunasema ni, as in kenye mzazi ameamua ni sahi, like tunajua huwa mnakunywa, tunajua, of course, I mean you are in your 20s, na mko university, of course mnakunywaga, lakini mkiwa na sisi hapa hamwezi kukunywa. Tunataka mujifanye ya kwamba nyinyi watoto wazuri na hamwezi kukunywa. And by the way, si ati mnaambiwa mwezi kukunywa ati ndio designated drivers. We are still the ones going to drive. Sisi kama wazazi, sisi ndio wenye tutakunywa. Alafu sasa nyinyi mkunywe masoda na sisi ndio tutawapeleka nyumbani kwa magari yetu. That is the agreement. So I'm thinking to myself, guys, this just led me to thinking about this is like a whole topic, but I'll only deal with a small part of it. Parenting and parenting styles in this African culture of ours. Or let me just talk about Kenya. This Kenyan culture of parenting. What is nini easy? So you're telling me that you have an opportunity to sit down with your child, have an alcoholic beverage, and see how your children are, because really your children are at university. What are the chances they're not drinking? What are the chances that they've never tasted alcohol? Of course they have, they have. So why is it that you would like set a restriction where they can't drink in front of you? Please, somebody help me understand, because mimi sielewi. Is it I don't know, ni heshima mnatafuta? Sijui you find it disrespectful for the children to drink in your midst or in your presence? Okay, if that's the reason, to me makes zero sense, absolutely. Okay, number 2, don't you want to see, first of all, what kind of consumer your child is? Are they a beer consumer? Are they a Makali consumer? Are they a wine person? What is my child? Do they drink tea, Baileys? Do they drink hard liquor of some kind? Do they drink cheap vodka? What do they drink? Number 1. Number 2, how are they when they drink? How does my child get when they drink? This is one of those perfect opportunities and scenarios where you get to, it's just such a clear, great opportunity for you to see how your kids behave around alcohol. But no, not this culture. Hii culture ni ya tujifanye sisi hatujawahi. Hapana, unajua sisi tabia mzuri watoto wakikunywa mbele ya wazazi yao, by the way si mzuri. Tunaribu mambo. It's very, very, very fake, and very, the word I'm looking for is hypocritical. It's very extremely hypocritical. Why would you have that kind of opportunity and prevent that from happening? And I know that that's as generations go by, like I imagine parents of our generation right now, like if we were to become parents, I would want to imagine that would not be the case. But the older generation of our parents, this is something that I truly don't understand. So now you have parents who are under the idea or impression that their child, my child, drink, mtoto wangu Mkristo hawezi onja pombe, hawezi onja liquor of any kind. Young parent, or actually it's old parent, the things that your children are doing out here when they're inebriated, bro, you want to know. I don't know why our parents want to get on with this. They want to stay, what's the word, like ignorant about what is happening. They are in a place where it's I think the word I'm looking for is they want to stay ignorant. They don't want to face the reality of what is happening, face the reality of the fact that your child, definitely alcohol is something. Alcohol is one of the least, one of the first things they experienced, really, when they, even some of them before they crossed into legal age, So don't you, why do you want to pretend and act like this is not something that's happening? It's happening, number one. And it is this exact same denial that parents will have when it comes to dealing with with other kinds of drugs, and whether it's drugs or other things that are happening, like the sexual life of your child. Do you know, are you aware of what your child is doing, right? So you have parents being like, no, my child would never do that. But when did you teach your child? Because every opportunity that arises to you, that presents itself to you for you to address certain matters, you want to be like this, turn away, pretend you never saw anything, pretend nothing is happening, say no, we can't drink together, it's not good. It's really extremely hypocritical from where I stand, and I feel like the generations of parents that we're having now, the younger generation now who are becoming parents, I don't feel like this is necessarily a challenge that will be there. But just in case, I really do feel like, as parents, do you not want to be friends with your child? Do you not want to know? Do you know what exactly your child is doing with themselves, right? So I'm not talking about going and inserting yourself into their parties or into whatever, but certain situations present themselves as golden opportunities for you to figure out who your child is, for you to have certain conversations with your children, okay? Now you pretending, closing your eyes and shutting them and pretending that none of this is the truth, or my child can't do that. What do you mean they can't do that? If you are not bold enough to talk to them about certain things, or to be in a situation where you allow them to do what young people do, and you be able to witness it, how the hell do you expect to have any kind of logical friendship with your child? How is that ever possibly going to happen? And I feel like this same thing extends to, there is alcohol, yes, but it extends to so many other things. Like, parents are out here acting blind to what is happening. Like, when you hear things that are happening out there, what makes you think it's not happening in your own house? What makes you think you can fail to talk about certain things and expect that they will not happen to your child? What makes you think that you can ignore the things that you're seeing and hearing that are happening to people, youths who are the same age bracket as your own child, and then assume that by not talking about it, your child will never become involved in those kind of things? That is very extremely counterproductive. Your child will not automatically know what not to do or what to do by not having that conversation. Out here, the pressure is insane. So if you do not talk to your child, if you do not have certain conversations, especially when opportunities present themselves in such, and it has laid itself out on a not even a silver platter, on a golden platter, it has laid itself out for you to talk to your child. But who are you? No, my child would never. Why wouldn't they? They would. They very much would. If you don't tell them, they will, and they would. So I really feel like for the older generation of parents, yes, there is the idea that some things are very uncomfortable to talk about and stuff like that. But bro, if you are not planning to have certain conversations with your child, don't have the child. If you feel like you cannot talk about sex, you cannot talk about alcohol, you cannot instill certain morals that you feel are important to you into your child, you feel like they will just pass through osmosis, If that is your plan for raising your child, not having these conversations, please, please spare another human unnecessary heartbreak and don't have a child. Right? We can't be bearing children into this world to not teach them anything, and then they go making wrong decisions, and then you're like, but why would you do that? We have raised you better, we have taught you better, but you have taught these kids nothing. And like in the case of remote, for example, it's just one of those great opportunities for us to sit when we, and this is just one example. How many times do we go to social gatherings where we have the adults and the older parents, all of them, they're over there, they're drinking, and then the rest of you who are all of age and who probably drink every day, right? But all of you sit there with your sodas and whatever and pretend not to drink. I mean, it's ridiculous. And I mean, it could be family gatherings, it could be any kind of gathering where we have a mix of ages and stuff, and then we have young people there. I mean, it's very pretentious, and I feel like it's at the very core of this society that we are in to be extremely pretentious, in the sense that certain things they are being like they're taboo in a sense. They can't happen, they shouldn't happen, but we all know they are happening behind, I would use the term closed doors, but not necessarily, just behind parents' back, or behind parents' backs, or behind the backs of older ones who they are the ones who are actually uncomfortable having these kind of discussions. Because I am sure for many young people, it would be, they would be willing to have certain conversations with their parents, to sit there and to I'm here with my parents, and we're having a drink and we're having conversations like grown-ups, because that is who we are now. And I'm sure there are so many young people out there who would be very happy and they want to have this kind of interaction with their parents, an interaction that is real, where they're able to bring what is happening in the world of young people, and they're able to try and see if they can get their parents' opinions. And okay, so interruption, and I started eating. So what was I saying? Oh my days. Oh no, I don't remember what I was saying. I should have paused first. I don't remember what I was saying. What was I saying? Let me pause. Yeah. So I was saying, like the desire or the want for like kids to get their parents' opinions, and because there are times in life, I am sure, I know this, there are times in life where you have things that you want to talk about, and you're happy. Yes, you talk to your friends, you talk to other people around you, but talking to your own parents about certain things is a problem. And sometimes you really are looking for that adult advice that you want to hear from somebody older, because the decisions that you're facing are probably really serious and you want to be able to talk about them. But then the reservedness and the pretense of our parents, and the taboo, this taboo thing of certain things can't be done, shouldn't be done. And yet the reality of life is that things are changing, and anything should be done, anything is possible, anything should be, there's no taboo on conversations that you can and can't have with your child, right? As long as your child is facing a certain situation, I don't see why there should be any taboo. Hold on. I don't see why there should be any taboo regarding what you can and can't discuss out of something that came out of you. It is from you, it is your bones, it is your blood, it is your genetics. I don't see why there should be any taboo about these discussions can't be done, or can be done, or we can't behave this way, or we can't behave another way. On a different channel, on this very YouTube of ours, I had a very nice quotation that says, like, culture and all these things that are tied to culture are just dead people peer pressure. All this culture that we are carrying, some of them, and I'm not saying it's all bad, there's some things that are good, of course, about culture. It's nice to have culture, but there's some things that are just, it's unnecessary peer pressure. You can't talk to your kids about certain things, or it's not right, or you can't sit and have a drink with your kids. Why? As in, what is the logic, what is the reasoning, what is the basic understanding? And that is something that I find just very interesting. And it's like it puts such a barrier as to the point at which parents come to realize and to respect their children as adults, right? You realize that this is my child, yes, but there is a point at which your children are now crossing into adulthood. There is certain things, certain topics that can no longer be taboo. Your children are going to face these situations. They're going to face certain, things in their lives, and it would be great if they could talk to you about it without you necessarily being so without you being so, reserved and shy about it. Because when you give birth to a child, imagine all that shyness of talking about certain things. Please, tupa nje dirisha juu it's a bit late now that you have a child. Like, your child is gonna be hit right, left, and center with all sorts of different situations, and it would be great if they could talk to parents about it. So anyway, hii story yote tumetoka na hiyo story nilisikia they went to this place and they are being told venye hawezi kunywa, and I know for sure that today we are making progress. This is not the case with all families, and so kuna venye tuna make progress, and we are getting to a point where parents are realizing that friendship with your child, friendship and really talking about certain things is important. But each generation imepita, I wish they would realize that, because they are robbing their children, and they are robbing their children, and they are robbing themselves of great opportunities for friendship and interaction, real interaction with their kids who are no longer, our friendship can no longer be, or our interaction can no longer be about changing diapers, nor can it be about talking about school fees for me, or what I should do. We can now cross over to a point where we can talk about real issues like adults, and based on the principles that you have taught me, we can be able to exchange ideas based on, where you are in life and where I am in life, and we can talk about these things. So it would be great for there to be friendships as well. Of course, a balance of friendship and parenting between parents and their kids. But idea, some things are taboo, or some things can't happen, sijui heshima, sijui state, total nonsense as far as I'm concerned. Parents and kids should be able to find the balance, and it's not easy. None of this stuff is easy, but manzi, at some point chains have to be broken. Like, we have to make conscious decisions and break certain chains where we are not carrying ideas of of how these people should be, what's the word, like how parents should be parents, and there's certain taboos that should not be broken, or cultural dead people peer pressure, imposed on people unnecessarily. Talk to your kids, be free with them. Realize that there are certain things that since you can't shield them from, you can't prevent them from ever drinking. This is like a very basic example, but based on that story, this is, like, you can't prevent them from drinking at all. So what can you do about knowing how they are as people when they drink, and when they're enjoying themselves? What kind of person is your child? Get to know your child. Like, who are they? What kind of person are they? What are their interests? What are their goals? What are their desires? How are they when they're having fun? Don't you want to know that? Don't you want to be friends with your child? So what is with these taboos and these boundaries that people are putting, that hazina mbele wala nyuma, hazina mbele wala nyuma? So please, tuwashe hiyo nonsense, tuwashane nayo, please, for the sake of, and I really hope sisi wengine tukifika hiyo point yenye sisi ni wazazi sasa, tutakuwa tume-realize this is what happened to me, and I don't want that same thing. I want to be able to change this particular thing. I want to be able to be in a position where I can teach my kid teach my kid about, and be comfortable talking to them about things that they are going through, because pia siku zikienda, things will be probably getting different. Things will be different. So by the time our kids are our age, then the things that they'll be going through will probably be way different from what we went through. So we just have to be open, willing to listen and hear and understand what they're trying to say, and have those conversations, and not set unnecessary barriers from people who are dead. Guys, tumekufa. Ni hivyo. Story yangu ilikuwa story, ikakuwa rant, ikakuwa lessons that I would like to apply for myself, and that I would like other parents, kids over here to tukue too realistic, na tuache kuficha vitu under the rug when they're obviously happening, Yeah, that is the end of this conversation. Thank you for watching all 20-something minutes of this. I really have I said how I really appreciate this. Yeah. So now it's time for me to go on with my lunch. Githeri na pilau. Have you ever made pilau? And then unfortunately, the meat in the pilau was like 2%. So basically ni rice too. Then you realize, okay, so ni rice kumepikwa stew. So basically tunakula githeri na pilau. Juu hiyo pilau yenyewe haikuwa pilau, ilikuwa tu rice. Anyway, that's what's up. Thank you for watching this far, listening to me rant this far. Feel free to leave your comments about whether this happens to you, whether your parents are the close to you type, the ones who you guys can sit down, you go somewhere, you have a drink, you chapas to rose you, or are your parents the kind for we are parents. Sisi hapa tuko na wazazi, so wazazi hawezi kunywa na mtoto. Let me know which one you come from. Thank you for listening. Feel free to do all the things that YouTubers tell people to do. If not, pia ni sawa. Thanks. Have a good afternoon, day, morning, whatever time of the day it is. Enjoy yourself. Bye.